Good morning, this is Michael Leach from Professional Auto. This morning I wanted to jump in and talk about a big topic in the automotive industry, which is automotive diagnostics. There's a lot of parts stores out there whose mission in life is to sell auto parts. And they've kind of cheapened the term diagnostics because they've taken what is actually just a very, very basic computer scan on the engine management system, and they've corrupted it to mean, hey, we're going to reach a conclusion about what's wrong with your car. And so I just wanted to illustrate briefly this morning the difference between the handheld scan tools they use at AutoZone and our automotive scan tools that we use here that are $12,000 that actually allow technicians to do some troubleshooting. So what I have in my hand here is a very similar scan tool. This is this is an Actron. This is a J2534 tool, which means that it communicates on a generic protocol with the engine management system, not with the factory engineering. And our test vehicle is this, you can see in the background here, it is this 2018 Lincoln Navigator. See, big pretty truck. And what I want to show you is what the difference is. So all of these basic tools plug into the data port. I'm going to go ahead and switch views here so you can see a little bit. All right, so we have the interior of our vehicle, keys off. All vehicles built since 1996 have what's called an OBD port, onboard diagnostics port. It's a 16-pin connector right there. So we're going to plug our generic scan tool in and we'll read it. It says pocket scan. So we're going to go, we got to turn the key on. In this vehicle, it requires holding the ignition button for a few seconds. Oh, no key detected. It's in my pocket. There we go. So we've got our key on here. We'll go down to our pocket scan and we're going to go read. 0 codes. We can scroll down, mill off, monitors, 8 readiness monitors, misfire, fuel, catalyst, evap, O2 sensor, O2 heater, EGR. And that's it. That's all we got. You can go back up. So the readiness monitor information is useful, but that's pretty much the extent of this. Now they've switched over to the Bluetooth type codes. You know, it's a little bit more advanced reader than this one at AutoZone Advanced, stuff like that. But you can see that's the extent of this Actron scan tool. Now, let's check out the real deal. So we have one of our scan tools. This is one of the more broad-based ones. It is known as a Zeus by Snap-On. And so we're going to plug in. We're going to let our little pod, see our Bluetooth pod just lit up. And we're going to start talking to this thing. So let's click scanner. Let's let it identify. There we go. There's our automatic identification. There's our VIN number, 2018 Navigator L, 3.5 EcoBoost. 45,128 miles. List of equipped modules. We're going to go code scan here. And what type of code scan are you performing? Pre-scan or post-scan? Now I have not made any repairs yet, so we're going to go pre-scan. All the instructions. So there we go. We have no codes engine. We have transmission, the sync module, which is the stereo and a Ford, the body control module. Look at those exterior lighting system codes, general electrical failure. Lets us know right there we got some lighting system issues. We've scanned battery energy module, DC to DC converter, parking aid, differential control rear, anti-lock brakes, airbag, all-terrain control module, audio control module, body control module B, cruise control module, controls interface module, door module driver, passenger. You saw it just saved it there. We can go back. So now we've done a pre-scan, we've saved it. That quickly, we've just interrogated every control module on this car, which is really relevant if you're trying to make repairs. You need to know what's going on with the entire car. It's not enough just to do a quick scan of an engine management system. Another thing we can look at here, we're going to start this thing up. So to start the truck up there, we're going to go into engine. So we've got codes, data display, functional test. Check out functional tests. Special functions. So we can perform evap leak gross test, cold soak time test. We can actually check misfire monitor, a profile correction, power balance test, a relative compression test. We can reset the keep alive memory. Or we go into output controls. These are all the list of things that I can control with the scan tool for testing, to actually test the component on the car. When you do diagnostics, that's what you do, is you test the component on the car. I can't stress this enough, and that's why we've stopped saying diagnostics. We say testing and troubleshooting, because that's what you're doing. You're testing the component on the car. Your code is just your starting point, and then you're going to go into a data system, and you're going to use this tool to work with the components on the car. So you're testing the computer, the wiring, and the component holistically. That's a diagnosis. That's testing and troubleshooting, just like going to the doctor. So that's just a quick illustration of some of the capacity of an automotive professional scan tool. Like I said, a helpful way to think about it is think about like going to a doctor. You know, you can go and you can decide to do it yourself, and you can just take an Advil and see what happens. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you need to go to the doctor, and the doctor takes a look and says, we've got this going on, I need to order an ultrasound. And you go do an ultrasound, and then they come back and they review the results of the ultrasound, and they make a diagnosis based on the results of that testing. That testing, of course, costs money because you have to pay a bunch of people to do it. It's the same thing in the automotive world. If somebody comes in and they plug a $29 handheld scan tool to your car, and they want to act like that's enough information to make a decision for you to spend your hard-earned money on a chance or a wild guess, that's generally not the best course of action. That's why we have professionals out here, and that's why when it comes to diagnostics, you do have to pay the professionals, because we're working with $12,000 scan tools and 20 years of experience. And just like anybody else, we've got mortgages to pay and families to take care of. So at any rate, this is Michael Leach at Professional Auto. Have a great day.